Hopefully you guys are having an amazing day. XRP is at around 51 cents, guys. Bitcoin dumped, obviously, as you guys can see, and which made XRP dump right there, right? So this is why we need to see XRP decouple, guys. That's why, therefore, the Ripple versus SEC case is very important, to say the least. Now, quickly on the indicator side, or the technical analysis side of XRP, guys, before we talk about the riddles and a lot of connections to how we're about to collapse, right? Donald Trump warning, all these things, or Donald Trump does warn, but it seems like as it shows in this chart, guys, this indicator, the Gaussian channel, XRP is above it at this point, right? Holding support. Hopefully, we literally pump and never stop, guys, right? But if you guys look at the previous price action, there's a lot of price action, right? For many years, since 2018, which means there's probably a lot of resistance. But as you guys can see with XRP, look how it sliced through, guys, right? It just pumps like nothing. So let's prepare. Are you guys ready? Because now, guys, are to the fun part of XRP and the XRP community. Now, this is quite interesting. And here we go, guys. These are the events we were waiting for all this time. Number one, cyber attack, right? As you guys can see, more cyber attacks are taking place, guys, right? And remember what Schwab stated. Remember that this will be the most catastrophic event out there, guys, right? Most definitely, because it's going to halt everything, right? We know the game plan. Now, next up, this also fits my This also fits my theory of a profit opportunity prior to the scenario of a massive cyber attack in September, which crashes the monetary system. Same conclusion. If you do take profits before a systemic-wide problem, you should consider putting it into assets, right? So he's talking about a major cyber attack in September, which crashes the monetary system, right? Basically, the collapse, folks. Now, it seems like we are getting so close, guys. I can't believe it. We're getting so close. What's happening? From Watcher Guru, former President Trump says China pushing the world off the United States dollar currency standard is equivalent to America losing a world war. What?
China wants to change the standard, the currency standard. And if that happens, that's like losing a world war. We'll be a second-tier country. We'll literally be a second-tier country if that happens. Now, you're losing Brazil. You're losing Colombia, South America. You're losing Iran. You've lost it. You've lost Russia. And if you haven't lost them yet, you're going to lose them. China's on the yuan, so China's gone. Then you see France going over. No, what's going on? We're losing. If we lose our currency, that's the equivalent of losing a world war. Our currency is what makes us powerful and strong.
He said America will go to a second tier. So Donald Trump basically stated right here that America will be a second tier country if they lose the reserve status, right? The currency status. So that's how you know it's probably not going to take place. It may, but remember, guys, they want a new currency right on the horizon, which will be the US CBDC, no doubt about that. But remember, right? Who comes into play at the finale, guys, right? Donald Trump with XRP. Behind Donald Trump shows the restored American flag. But first, we need to see the demise, right? The collapse, or he literally stated riots will be occurring, guys, right? We're not making this stuff up when it does collapse. Or does he say that later on? Because there's so much to talk about. So here we go, guys. Here we go. We cracked the code, most definitely, guys, from Mr. Poole, right? Or a lot of connections to the Riddler point of view. But this is the most interesting connection of them all, guys, right? Which we have seen before, but you guys have probably forgotten. So these four images right there, right, top right hand corner. Mr. Poole tweeted this out on April 5th, 2022. Yes, affirmed dollar will be dissolved following event 303, according to message ref 44 and then all those numbers, right? So the dollar will be dissolved, guys, right? And you guys can see the dollar burning, right? Interesting how the phoenix in that depiction of that poster, right, the magazine from The Economist, 1988, if I'm not mistaken, the phoenix standing on top of the burning cash, which is then turning into, look at that, ash, right? So I went ahead and searched up on ChatGPT what this means. So I went ahead in ChatGPT to see what this all means, right? That specific tweets from Mr. Poole. So explain to us what that tweet means. Basically, he suggested that, or this AI stated, however, based on the text provided, it seems to suggest someone is saying that the dollar will be dissolved after a certain event at 303, which is 33. Everything happens on 13 and 33. Most significant rituals, guys, takes place. This phrase, yes affirm, indicates that the person making the statement is confirming or agreeing with something previously discussed or asked, right? And then the reference number is that right there. Maybe some kind of identifier for the message being referred to, right? Now we go down here. Is there a metaphorical meaning? Because there's always a double meaning attached to Mr. Poole's post, like he suggested and stated. So basically, if you go down here, it is possible that the statement refers to a specific event or circumstance that will lead to a change in the value or use of the dollar. So explain what this means. Dollar will be dissolved. So the AI provided that. However, in general, the word dissolved means to break down or disintegrate into its component parts. In the context of finance or economics, dissolving the dollar could potentially mean reducing or eliminating the value or use of the United States dollar currency. This could be accomplished through a variety of means, such as the introduction of a new currency. There we go, folks. We got confirmed. And Mr. Poole stated this how long ago, right? A year. Like, we're talking about years, guys, right? They have been warning us of the systemic collapse imminent. Again, such as the introduction of a new currency. So, guys, we got the game plan. It's so clear. Oh my. The world is talking about how the dollar is about to collapse, right? But is it truly? Remember, the opposite usually takes place whenever all these people are coming in and joining force into one and saying the same damn thing. The opposite usually happens, guys. So, if the dollar rises, everything else collapses, guys, right? They'll probably introduce a new currency for America, but all around the world altogether, guys, right? And what currency will that be? It will be obviously digital, right? Fiat will still be here, though. Never forget, guys, the Riddlers told us, if I'm not mistaken, let's see. Yep, right here. So they already stated this, they already showed us right here, guys. Dollar system is now gone, however, fiat is here to stay, right? Gold is back with his best friend, XRP. And they're going to be integrated into the new financial system. We're not making this stuff up, guys. Talk to the Riddlers, not me, right? Then, the abandonment of the dollar as a reserve currency. Interesting. Or a significant change in monetary policy. Again, the change is imminent, guys. We know a change is imminent. So if you go search up what does dissolve mean, right? Basically, with reference to a solid become or cause to become incorporated into a liquid so as to form a solution, right? Look at this. Incorporate into a liquid, guys. Didn't we hear that? I'm not saying XRP will be the reserve currency, right? Even though I think that was Ripple's one of their goals or something. I'm not quite sure, but it's what, guys? Liquid, right? Moving very quickly, efficiently, all those things. Don't you see where the world's heading towards? Not to mention XRP is liquid gold. Everything's about all things are literally about liquidity, liquid, right? These sorts of words. We just cracked another code, guys, right? I just had this thought that there's a lot of liquid talk recently, but you know how this is? Oh my, I can't believe it, guys. On the other hand, we see Mr. Poole talking about how the dollar is going to go into ash, right? And you guys can see how fire is coming to play, right? So we got water and fire, guys, which means this is literally an alchemical ritual, right? You can't make this stuff up. What are the chances of this, guys? Someone give us a harder riddle. I mean, there already is one. XRP's moon date, but not really. I mean, it moons after it collapsed, right? Possibly, I'm not sure, but I'm not 100% for sure, but it seems like that's how the way it's going to go. Or perhaps it moves beforehand, right? Who knows? Now, if you best believe that the collapse is not imminent, guys, check this out. United States national debt just hits a record of $31.5 trillion, up over $8 trillion since 2020. You can't make this stuff up, guys. How? What? Again, we're talking about $31 trillion, guys, right? And not to mention, Janet Yellen stated 50 trillion. So they're going to boost it up to 50 trillion. If you guys want to know when the collapse takes place, just watch out for the debt market, right? Total federal debt per household is 240K, right? We now have a higher debt GDP ratio than post World War II, right? And then it goes more in depth about all this debt, guys, right? All this stuff. So do you think they could keep kicking the can down the road, right? The only way they can is to keep printing and printing and printing and printing, but then it's going to be worse for you and I because of inflation, right? So hyperinflation, whatnot, guys. So it doesn't matter what they do, they can run, but they cannot hide, right? They have kicked the can down the road for many, many, many years, guys, but they can run, but they cannot hide, which means, what, guys? Again, we're talking about $31 trillion, guys, right? And the dollar is going to go into ash, right? And you guys can see how fire is coming to play, right? So we got water and fire, guys, which means this is literally an alchemical ritual, right? You can't make this stuff up. What? Are the chances of this, guys? Someone give us a harder riddle. I mean, there already is one. XRP's moon date, but not really. I mean, it moons after it collapsed, right? Possibly, I'm not sure, but I'm not 100% for sure, but it seems like that's how the way it's going to go. if they want to delay, they can. But at one certain point in time, it will most definitely collapse, guys, right? The entire system. And we're talking about, we have never seen this before, guys, right? We're talking about a transitional period, right? And if we take advantage of this transitional period, obviously we'll probably become rich and wealthy. Not financial waste, not financial waste, and not financial waste, guys, right? We know the game plan, or at least I could see it because I'm following the Riddler timeline, guys, right? It tells you right there. Let's be realistic, guys. Then, now check this out from Rebuild Coach, right? A connection to the astrology signs, right, and whatnot. Pluto in Aquarius, March 23rd to June 11th, right? Pluto represents transformation by way of death/rebirth. So a lot of people are talking about the collapse is imminent. Maybe it is, guys. The last time Pluto was in Aquarius, the French and American Revolution took place. Wow, guys, we're talking about, you guys see how they do everything specifically on certain like signs or dates or numbers, right? It's all because it's all rituals, and I'm pretty sure they use those energies towards for their advantage, right? Basically, because it makes it much easier, the ritual to occur. When Pluto was entered Capricorn in 2008, the financial collapse occurred at the exact moment as well, right? It's also a Shemitah year, guys. Wow, a super Shemitah at that. So we're talking about the collapse happening here soon, guys. We're not making this stuff up. What is happening, right? Oh my. Since 2008, Pluto has been in Capricorn. In June 2023, it will return there until January 2024, when it lands in Aquarius for 2 decades. Come on, guys. We know the game plan is quite clear. We know that the end is near. Now, the fountain for Tessito comes from Vandal. What do we see right here? Here's a few steps to prepare for the United States dollar collapse. Just in case, guys, you may want to take action before it takes place, possibly. Who knows, right? A lot of people are talking about the United States dollar collapse. I mean, just remember, whatever happens, they're going to come in and save the day as the problem reacts to solution immediately, guys, right? It's not going to take weeks, not going to take months, possibly days, because it's going to get really bad, guys. Riots on the streets, as Donald Trump said, all these things, right? Who knows? But physical cash or physical money, gold and silver, digital assets such as XRP XLM, cash on hand, emergency first aid, food, water, source of energy, self-defense tools, diversify assets, community, daily necessities, right? And then there's an add-on right there, guys. So again, what are your guys' plan, right? As I did suggest that when the collapse takes place, guys, you may want to just stay put, right? Just stay home, watch the show occur, because Mr. Poole did state this is a simulation attempt. You cannot stop, right? So whatever events may need to happen, it has already been prophesized beforehand. So it seems like it's all set in stone, perhaps. Who knows, guys, right? I'm pretty sure there's everything's just a paradox, though, at the end of the day, not financial advice. So was Mr. Poole talking about the world events or the simulation, right? Because is this reality or not, guys? Perhaps both. Who knows? Not financial advice. But anyways, that's so fast. See ya.